The kicker, Will Reichert, has the ball on the tee. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Williams, the man in motion left. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd and a couple. Goff now looks to throw. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting and preparation.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, they timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into?
What?
A free hitter.
Goff now looking to throw. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Goff. There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right.
high
That's
mark.
the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. To the air with McCarthy. That is caught. He'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Buying time to his, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 49 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the 50, it's Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Goff. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. This to Laporta, right side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, now McCarthy. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Marcus Davenport, the 1st rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the 1st quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now it's Goff. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. (10-0) the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. In motion, the tight end. To throw is Goff. Oh, short pass here taken in by Laporta. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 10. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Off play action. Here's Goff. And his throw here's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Goff. And that is incomplete here.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. McCarthy off the play fake. This one swung out here to Jones. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now McCarthy. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense getting set once again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Back to throw, Goff. Throw left side, complete. That's Patrick. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
The tight end in motion right. Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
In motion goes Patrick. Goff now looking to throw. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Goff. He'll get this one to Patrick. So he stopped for no gain. 3rd and 7 now. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Goff now looks to throw. Finding Williams once more, complete. And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're
you
down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Pass complete to Addison. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's McCarthy. That is caught. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Up the middle, Jones. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. His throw incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To the air with McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is McCarthy. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Second and 9. Now it's gone. Into the hands of Patrick left side. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He's got his target. That's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. Going underneath, Gibbs has it. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Addison will go in motion left. An inside give to Jones. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Now McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. McCarthy off the play fake. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll run it with Jones. Touchdown, Vikings. 36 yards for Aaron Jones. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Sheds off the tackle, and he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker, that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
So from the 37, here's second down and 8. Back to throw. McCarthy. Open man. He's got Jefferson across the formation. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Second down and 8. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And he's got the hook up to Moore. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll leave them with third and a full yard to go. Moore, the man in motion. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1. Completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Goff. He'll get this one to Patrick. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Goff. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 4th down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Addison will go in motion left. A give to Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to throw. McCarthy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones, and he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here's Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4. Here's Goff. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on third down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. .47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd down and 4. Here's McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings 1st down as he's up past the 45-yard line. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
The give is to Jones. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And that nearly their 1st pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Now a 2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Mason going to get it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
This 2nd and 4. On play action, McCarthy. This is caught. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Jones. is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
To the air with McCarthy. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. Throwing is McCarthy. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 27. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Gibbs, and he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 3. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. In motion goes Patrick. Now Goff. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. In motion goes Patrick. Back to throw, Goff. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's 2nd and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now it's Goff. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now McCarthy.
Every now and then, you hope some volleyball training actually comes into play as a defender. When a ball's tipped in the air, nice play by the defense, got a hand on it, but when it's in the air, it's up for grabs. And too many times in this league, we've seen great plays happen for an offense as a result of a ball tipped in the air. So what you really want to do is be that guy who comes off the back line and spikes it, knocks it to the ground. Don't let him have that opportunity.
Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism. Great hit.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. In motion left comes Williams. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now a play fake, and it's gone. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. To throw is gone. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. But collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Goff now looking to throw. And it's caught. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll try to run with Gibbs. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Escapes the defender. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd and 4. That pass complete to Moore. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Two scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On to give. Here's Gibbs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Goff now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So it's a win here for the Lions, and the guy who spearheaded things was their quarterback, and that's Jared Goff.
Yeah, some of these DBs are going to be tossing and turning tonight, partner. He really had their number. Wound up with well over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns to boot.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.